Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we are going to be working on my second Songtember song.
For Songtember 2022, it's episode 2, and it's happy for you dancers.
That's right. Song number 2. Awesome stuff. Going to kick off with a track of utensils, so you get a little bit accustomed to what utensils is. Shall we do it? Let's do it. Yes, utensils. One of my side projects that I do a lot of experimentation with, because I can. So, hello, welcome to the show. That was, what was that song called? I can't even remember what it's called. Impending Doom. Of course it was, Impending Doom. And yes, as I said, a lot of the utensil stuff that I do turns out to be experimental stuff. I think that one was recorded using, was it Gadget? I think that, was it that one, Gadget? I can't, or Nano Studio. That one was done with Nano Studio. So, yeah, I like to experiment. I'm Jade, by the way. This is how to app on iOS. Welcome to Songtember. It's Songtember 2022. That's what this show is about. And welcome to my warriors. I can see there's a few new ones here I can click. Look at this. Boom. Oh, get rid of that. There's Barry Glenn and there's Stu Cash, who've just become What Warriors. Thank you very much. And hello to everybody here. Thomas Christ, Leela, Pete Johns, Gregory Sullivan, Thomas Christ. I already said that. Probably did. Going stupid. Stu Cash, Audible Video. Who else? Ed B. What is happening? Yeah. And Fat Panda Cat. Hello. And Leela's given a bunch of memberships away. So if you can see the little membership button in your chat, little gifted memberships, if you click on that, you will get a free membership. So click on it. And if you're not on Audible, you've got to send one through. You know this. Stop being a dick. Jesus, put him in timeout, someone. So I'm not sure if it works on iOS. If you're in front of a desktop and you can't click on it, click on it. Click on that little membership thing and you get a free membership. Oh God, fellas, relax, please. There are rules. There's a post on. I actually have one for you already, Stu. So because you've been a dick today, Stu, I'm just going to use the one that I have, and it's really ugly. You're going to have to deal with it. It's not ugly at all. But yeah, I already have one of you, so I will make that later today. But yeah. We're going to try. So when I say AI, it's not all going to be AI because there's no. If it was AI, it would it would do everything. But that's impossible. That's utterly impossible. But what I am going to use is a combination of generative apps which generate chords. So it'll all be it is an algorithm. That is an algorithm. That is what AI is. This is an artificial intelligence. That is an algorithm. So I'll be using algorithmic apps to create our chord structure and our song, and then selecting the apps that I want to make the sound, and then we'll automate all of that. So then I can record all of that, and we'll be doing it in AUM. Is how I'll be making this song. And then once the song is finito, I'll be generating some AI art by using the thing. By going over to Discord and using, I don't want to know what's new, dude. I'll be using Midjourney to do the artwork. So here is my Discord server. If you join my Discord, which is linked down the bottom, you can be a part of Midjourney, and you can see all these people here in my Discord server making AI generated art here. Who have we got here? Dan Ekberg has been making a bunch of AI generated art. I've got heaps of art in here. So who else do we have? So here's some of my art that I made the other day, which is AI generated. Pretty cool stuff. This was a duck cat. I tried to make a cute kitten duck. Yes? So you can make pretty much anything you want. So I'll be generating all the art for this song using Midjourney, which is completely AI generated. And here's Weltenkinder. He's made this piece of art with Midjourney, totally AI generated. So the AI is getting smarter and smarter. But guess what, folks? It's not going to take over the world. We're not at that level yet, so relax. It's all good. So, all right, let's get into it because we're already 15 minutes down. I've only got 45 minutes left. So it's going to be a short one. We're just kicking off today. These shows will continue over the whole month. I have 2 songs I'm working on. One which I've already done a show on, episode 1. Yeah, that was for my Metheist song, and this is for utensils. So we have AUM open now. Let's jump over and start. I'm going to create a MIDI track to kick off. This is going to control everything. Let's create a bunch of audio tracks because I am going to try and create something symphonic. And for that, the majority of the tracks I'm gonna, sounds I'm going to be using are going to come from iSymphonic and what else? Pure synth, because there's some really nice synth sound, orchestral stuff in there. And I'm going to try and make a very dark, brooding, symphonic thing using this. So let's kick off first by grabbing iSymphonic. So we've added an iSymphonic sound in here. And now the beauty of AUM now is I don't have to go in here and just add each iSymphonic. What I can do is hold down on here and I get this little menu pop up now and hit select. And now just hold down on each one and copy straight in. Look how much easier that is. AUM is lovely these days. So we're going to need a controller for this. And I'm going to use progressions for the most part, but we'll most likely also be using the other one. The other one, scalar as well. So both of these generate chords and progressions as what? It's called progressions. Yeah, so it's going to create a bunch of progressions. I'm going to try and make it as complex as I possibly can. We're just going to ramp up the complexity for this. So first, what I need to do is, for the first sound, we need to send an output of this, number one, and we want to send this to our first iSymphonic. So at least we'll have a connection. And I also want to put on the input here a keyboard. So we got a keyboard there just in case I want to play anything. Now, this is all connected. So if I hold, are we working? So we've got our C. Now we have to decide what key this is going to be in. And I think we're going to do a F sharp. Yes. And we're going to do a minor, obviously. Now let's go in and change the sound in here. I'm going to choose my favorite. I always do. If you'd like to find out more about iSymphonic, you can go back and do a search for Jade Starr iSymphonic. There's a couple of, maybe 3 videos I've done on it. One of them is an overview of the app, and the other one is a really long video, which is an hour and a half, but it covers every single sound within every single sound pack, because this is an expensive app full of in-app purchases that would cost you a lot of money. So I tried to make a video with all of the sounds in each pack so you know what you're getting with each pack. It's a long video, but it'll help you decide which things to purchase within this magnificent app. So I'm going to choose just a classic orchestra 2. So if we jump back over here to our progressions. Lovely. That'll do for now. And let's change the complexity and the freedom. I'm going to make the freedom extreme. So we shall do that. If we click our mode here, you can see the breadth and depth of it, the freedom of our wheel here. See, if I go back to freedom here and hit strict, we're only within the confines of this little spectrum here within our circle of fifths. But I'm going to take it nice and extra wide. Oh, we'll go extreme. Yeah. So now if we go back over here, you can see we have a very wide depth of circle of fifths here. I'm going to go into our complexity and turn this up to extreme. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in here which might be very displeasing, but it will still all be within the scale. You know, we can pick and decide what it's going to give us. So I'm going to turn on bass notes as well. We have open chords already selected here. Now, if I generate some chords, we're off. And look at all these chords it's given us. Nice. Hey, Jenny, what's happening? Good to see you. Boom. But I want to change this. Let's click on our generate section because I have this selected duplicates. You'll see there's duplicates in here. I don't want duplicates. I want the full breadth and scale of everything I can get. So I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to generate these chords again. And now when I play through these, we should have... Let me turn this down a bit. It's a little bit loud. Still loud, bitch. There we go. All right, so it looks like we've got a nice selection of chords. We'll play through them. And if I connect, sync this up to our AUM here, I can just play through these chords and we can hear how they sound. Oh, I like that one. So there's our palette. And I can stick with this if I want, or I can regenerate them if I so choose. For now, we'll stick with them. We'll see what we can get out of it, because now that's the part the AI has decided my chords. Now I just have to put them in order and start making a song out of it. And that's where our song palette comes into play. Now, if you've seen the previous shows I've done on these, I've done 2 shows on progressions and done a couple of shows where I've made things with progressions. We have our chords here. We have an arpeggiator. So now if I hit play, or we have a strummer. Sweet. So now I need to put this into our song palette, and that's where the song mode comes in. So up here we have our little song mode. I'm going to click that on. Now if I hold down on it, here is our song mode. And there's a little arrow here, of course, which I'm going to click down. And this gives me my conductor page. And this is where I get to build all the parts of the song. So I'm going to change the names of these just so we have a little bit more sense of what's going on. I think I want to make it my own. So we'll have an intro. We'll keep the verse here. Then we'll change the name of this. I've forgotten how to change the name. How do I change the name? Do I have to hold down on? There we go. So we'll change this to chorus. That'll be there. And then we'll change this one to verse 2. Verse 2. We'll change this one to chorus 2. Yes. And then we'll change this. We'll leave that as bridge and we'll leave that as outro. So this is our song. Intro, verse, chorus, verse 2, chorus 2, bridge 1, the bridge and the outro. And this will be our piece. So we have to click on our intro here and start selecting some chords. Of course, we're going to start with this, because that's what key the song's in. So let's grab it and drag it in, and that is our first note of the song. Boom. Let's mess around and see what sounds right. Okay, that sounds all right to me, just to kick off. So we'll drag this this B9 down here. We'll drag this down here. So there's our first section. So now if we go back to the start and play. Now we can slow this down if I want to, or we can keep it at that speed. So I can change the measure, the length, so I could change this to 8 if I wanted to. See how that sounds? That's still the same, isn't it? I've got to do that over here, do I? Yes. I fucked up. It's all right, I fucked up. Got to do that here. Don't we? I can't remember how to do it. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, yeah. So I'm doing it there. So we can change this to 8. Let's do that. So that one's 8. Then we can go, because you can make things whatever you want. We could have 8 here, 4 here, then 8 here on this one. And then 4 on the next one. So if we go back to the start. That doesn't make sense. So what we'll do is we'll change number 2 to 8. And we'll change this one here to 8 as well. And we'll double these up. So I'm going to just grab my finger and swipe and select all those. And now all I have to do is hit copy. And look at that. It copies them over. So I can make as many of these in this intro page as I like. So if we hit play, let's see how long that goes. Sweet. I think that's enough for that. So that can be our intro, just to kick things off. So now we can move over to our verse. And we need to remember the order of these chords. So I'm going to click on the little verse section here. So this was the opening. And now we need to find the next chord to go from there. And what sounds right? I don't know. What are the rules of music? Who gives a fuck? You can do whatever you want. Da, da. Da, 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 da. Let's just try that. Keep it nice and simple. We'll take this, drag this in here. We'll grab this D, and we'll keep these at 4 instead of 8. And I'm going to swipe over these, and again, copy, copy, copy. So this is our next part, and we'll play through this now. Sweet. That'll do for now. Remember, we can go back and change these. We're just trying to, for this show, kick off and get an idea flowing and get something happening. This is never going to be the finished product. So now we have our intro, we have our verse, then we need a chorus. So what was that? This was a F and D. Now we want to go to a chorus. Interesting. Let's just drag and see how these sound. We'll do a copy. So we've got 2 of those. And let's put it all together. So the way we bring it together, just to see how it all sounds so far, we've got these 3 parts that I'm clicking through. We've got our intro, verse, and chorus. So now this is where we go to our conductor section, and this is where you put everything together in the conductor. So how do you do it? You hold down, and it says build song, and I'm going to say yes. And now, oh, it would help if I actually built the song, wouldn't it? Let's put nothing in there. So in our conductor section, I need to grab the intro, drag that in there. I need to grab the verse, drag that in there. I need to grab the chorus and drag that in there. So now here's our 3 parts. And now when I hold down this button, hey, Mr. Smith, and anyone else I may have missed, Gregory, anyone who I may have missed, it says build song. I'll say yes. And now here's our full song already. So now let's go back to the start and just listen to it in its entirety and see how it sounds so far just with these basic chords. So this is our intro. And now our verse coming up. Not entirely happy with it, but we'll see where we go with that. So that's at least a start. Let's choose a sound because it's kind of not working for me at the moment. So we might go for some strings kind of thing. So we'll leave this playing. Oops. We'll put this on a loop now, so it just keeps going around and around. Turn it down a bit. Hey, Jim Shannon on sounds. Okay, what I'm going to do is add a piano track here. Let's do this. And we'll grab Genuine Sounds for now. And I'm going to add another progressions in here. So remember, we're still workshopping here, progressions. And now what I want to do is carry across what we already have into this new version of progressions. How do we do that? Up the top here, I can click on Sync Instances. So now all these instances will bounce over. Because I've added another progressions over there, I can choose to add all the same things of what we have here. So if I hit Sync All, that now has sunk everything over to the new instance I have here of progressions. And I'm going to link this one to this new piano sound over here. let's jump over to this piano. I want to add a little bit of reverb and stuff to this. I'm going to bring up this reverb just to give it a big sound. Yeah. And I might go in here and add a digital delay. And that's all on. We'll make sure that reverb and this delay is on. So now I'm going to go into this second copy of progressions. And in our song mode, I'm going to make sure that we go back to the start here. I'm going to select the arpeggiator. So this will give us a piano playing along. Hey, thank you very much, Jim. That's very kind of you. Cheers to you. So instantly, just adding a little bit of piano has given this some sex. Kind of, sorta, Mr. Smith. So I'm using an app here to control all these instruments called progressions, and the progressions uses an AI algorithm to generate chords and flexibility within within our notes here, within our circle of fifths, so we can control the freedom and the breadth and width here. So you can see here within this circle here, this is creating a wide range of notes within this circle of fifths for us. And we have a complexity of notes. And I've hit generate down here, and this has generated this entire palette of fantastic chords that I can now place into a song. So the AI has generated the entire chord structure of this song for me, and I'm just placing it into little patterns, and it's doing all the things. So even the arpeggiation here on the piano is being controlled in this second instance of progressions. So if we hit play and just solo the piano, this is all being controlled by this. I've written nothing. See you later, Pete. We'll see you over at YML in 20 minutes' time, folks. If you're watching here and you want to go over to YML, I will automatically dump you over to YML. Then what's great about this too is I can control the arpeggiation of this piano. So let's do a bit of that. Let's fuck around with that for a little bit. So I'm going to click on our song. And in our song here, I can go back into the intro. So now if we just play the intro, let's play the intro. So for the verse, I want to change this pattern. So we go into the verse here. Yeah. We'll bring this back to the start. And what I can do is I can hit this style button down here and I can change the arpeggiation. So let's go and choose a different arpeggiation down here. And we'll hit play and hear what it sounds like. Nice. So just that little change here. So what I'm going to do is click on the first chord of this verse, and I want to lock in this arpeggiation. And this is where I can hit the style button, hold it down. Oop, I don't want to hold it down. I just want to click it. Boom. And you'll see over here, if I can zoom in, it's added this little bit here. It's added the bass note and an ARP B. So it knows this is now an ARP B. So now we'll go to our, what hasn't carried over my names of my songs. That sucks. But anyway, we'll go over here and let's change the arpeggiation of this one, of this chorus it's supposed to be. Let's hear what this sounds like. Okay, let's try that. So we'll hit our style and we'll head back over to our conductor and we'll hold this down and we'll build this song out. So it should be exactly the same as our other instance. And now when we play this, you'll notice the arpeggiation will change. Oops, no it won't, because I didn't go into here. Rookie mistake, guys. I need to go into our intro, number 1, and make sure this is arpeggiation A. Done. Good stuff. Now we're cooking with gas. Go back to our conductor. Build the song. Yes, please. And here we go. So now if I hit play, you'll notice the arpeggiation will change with each section. So this is our opening still, and you'll see here, this is where the arpeggiation will change. Here we go. And here's the next change in arpeggiation. Beautiful. Okay, so let's now go back into and add our synth, our strings, and let's hear it all together and see what it sounds like. Hey, what's going on, G-May? Beautiful. So we've got the beginnings of a song here. We're only using 2 instruments so far. This is going to get more and more complex as we go on throughout Songtember. So this is only the first episode of Utensils Songtember. Remember, I have another song that I'm working on. So every couple of days, we'll be switching between the 2 songs. Like the next show, I'll be doing a Metheist track, working on the Metheist track. This is for my other band, Utensils. Let's add another thing. So we're going to add another progressions here. And we got 14 minutes. So we'll look for progressions. And what's so fantastic about progressions is whatever I've made in this first copy of progressions, I can just copy into the new one we've just created. So I can copy all of the AI generated stuff in here into this next one down here, which is completely blank at the moment. See, we've got no chords in here, nothing. But watch what happens. We'll do it again. We'll click on here, this little hamburger, and we have sync instances. So straight away it says, I found 2 other versions of progressions. Now, if I click this little tab, it will allow me to choose just one of them because I don't want to overwrite the second one. So I'm going to choose number 3 and turn off number 2. So that's done. And now I'm just going to hit sync all. And now we'll check this out. Go to number 3, and here's all our chords. Everything's all here, ready to go. So we've got an open palette with all the chords ready to fucking play, but nothing's, when I click the buttons, it's not assigned to an instrument yet. So let's assign this to our second symphonic sound here. So I'm going to click the little hamburger, and we want to go out to iSymphonic number 2. So that's now connected. And now, good. Let's choose a symphonic sound. We shall solo this now, and we'll hit play, and we'll let it play, and we'll find a sound, yeah? Because there's so many sounds to choose from. Maybe a choir? Should we find a choir, maybe? Maybe. We've even got drum sounds here, or even a tubular bells. We can get in here. Now, what's really cool about this also is I don't have to have this running all the way through, right? I can go in here to our song. Here's our song, and I can blank out sections. So if I don't want any of this in the verse, it's very easily I can do this. I can go in here, select this entire verse, which goes to, where's it go to? I think it goes to there, is that right? Yeah. And I can hit clear, I think, and now that's all empty, right? So you'll notice now, when I go back to the start of the song, those bells won't be in there until the verse begins. Check it out. Because we've created blank spaces in there. And here come the bells, the tubular bells. Now I did muff up there. I absolutely muffed up. So what we're going to do is go into our conductor. Let's scroll back here. And I'm just going to redo these. Build the song, yes. Let's put the song back in here and have our arpeggiator set at F. And I did go too far because it actually ends on this B9. So I'm going to scroll to there and then clear it again on the 8th. I screwed up, but it's easily fixed. So let's try it again, see what happens. And those bells should come in on the 9th here. And what I'll do in the meantime is we'll add some reverb to these bells. We'll add some black hole. Give it a nice big booming reverb. Here it comes, get ready. Now, just quickly, notice there, we went back to the start. So, but we'll change this as we go on. So that's all I'm going to really do today, I think. We've at least got a structure happening. So beginning, and I'll work a little bit more on this off screen. And so by the next time we do a show, I've added some more things and then I'll show you what I've added and then we'll continue on with the process. But here's the most important stuff. Something you must remember when you're working on your Songtember songs, my friends. Or any song, be it. Make sure you save it. Yeah? I was a dick and didn't do that. Here's save. I'm going to hit save now. Let's call this utensils U-10 cells Songtember. Save it. Save, and save often. Save session. Bang. That is now saved. So I can come back to this at any time and continue on with it. By the time we get to the end of this track, trust me, these sections down here with these progressions, there's going to be a whole list of them all down here, all controlling all these instruments, and they'll all be automated. Everything will, all I'll need to do this is where we get back into the AI. All I'll need to do to record this song and make a mix down is basically hit play. And everything will automate itself. And I can, if I want, split it up into individual tracks. So I can go down here and hit record on all these tracks if I so desire. Yeah, at the end of it. And then up, if we go back to the start, and then if I hit record here, all of these tracks are now recording. You can see them all down the bottom, spinning around, recording. And they're all being automated by these progressions. And if I hit stop, that's recorded all those tracks. And where do I find those tracks here in AUM? Up here in the files. If I go to recordings, look at that. It's created a folder, Utensils Songtember, and there's all our tracks. All ready to go. So now I could take these and import them all into, say, GarageBand or into Cubasis or whatever DAW I'm using, and then play with them even further. So, you know, this is going to be a unique song. I have no idea where this is going. So you're on the ride with me, yeah? I have no idea what is happening here. And hopefully it comes out to be something interesting. Already it's sounding very dark, but a bit video gamey at the same time. So, yeah, all these sounds are MIDI. So that's what this does. These progressions, they create MIDI, and these are all AUV3 MIDI instruments. I've only used 3. We've only got 3 of them active at the moment. This one, and the piano at the end here. So there's a whole lot more instruments I'm going to add to this. There'll be drums in here. Like we can go in and add like digi sticks in here. Let's grab digi sticks. There we are, DigiSticks, and I can go in here and start programming drums very easily. Look at this, I've got a whole volume set here, and I can go in and start putting some kicks in and a snare. Look how easy this is. Let's put some open hats, just like this. Now when we go back to the start, and if I sync this as well, and I can fully automate those drums and bring them in whenever I want. I control when they come on, when they come off, with other apps like the Bud series, which I'll probably be using some Bud apps to turn on things and automate those. So it's hopefully going to come out okay. So there's a little bit of control I'm putting into it myself, but the main structure and the automation of the song is being generated by an algorithm. So that is the point of this. Let's quickly, before we go, just jump over to Discord, because I know Pete's raring to go. And let's just for fun jump over to Midjourney and let's create a quick album cover for it. Okay, so I'm going to hit /imagine, because I want the AI to imagine something for me. I'm going to put in robotic symphony, futuristic, if I can spell it, artificial intelligence. Let's put in dystopian, because that's always good fun. Dystopian. Let's see. I'm going to put in 4K. Give it some 4K resolution. Put in 8K as well, resolution. Photo realistic. Movie quality. And we'll put in... let's put in that. Nice one. Volumetric lighting. Yeah. And we'll put a comma there. And what I'll do now is we'll leave it as squares. I won't change the size. It'll give us 2 copies. And I think we'll do the beta. So we'll do a -- test. I think the beta's still running. I hope so. Test P. And we'll hit go. Yep, looks like the beta's still running. So within a minute now, you've got a minute to hang with me. And let's see what it does, because this is how we're going to create the artwork for this. So everything, as much as possible, is going to be as AI generated as I possibly can. Because we live in the future, folks. We actually live in the future. And the AI is getting smarter. Not smart enough to kill us. Trust me on that. That's a fantasy. But it's smart enough to really do some amazing things. So we'll let this do its thing. And then, oh, wow. Interesting. I just love watching these images grow. It's so very clever. I really like the sparseness of this one so far, with this robot looking into the distance. Let's see what happens with that background. Oh, that robot's starting to take shape. Also, I want to thank you for being here today. Thanks for joining me on today's both shows. If you want to go back and check out my previous show, which was on 4Pockets MIDI layers. That's a really fantastic app, which has just dropped. Tomorrow I'll be back with I'm Not Sure. I'll work it out tonight, today or whatever. And because there's a pay-per-view, AEW pay-per-view on today, so I'll be watching wrestling. And we're 70% here. So we haven't got an orchestra or anything like that, but interesting stuff. And we will be doing a show on Midjourney where we'll sit here for 2 hours and you guys can throw your ideas at me for album covers, because I've paid for a full unlock for Midjourney for the month. So if you don't want to spend the money, you can use me. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, here's our image, 100%. Pretty cool. This one's pretty nice. Look at that. Looks really cool. There you go. All right, hope you've enjoyed the show. Hang around. As soon as the show ends, it'll automatically dump you over to Pete's YML. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We all rise together, and I'll see you tomorrow. Boom.